Well, back guys to Big Stevie Cool 1872, and we are here with another match preview, baby. Hi, it's an early one. I'm recording this at 2 minutes to 6 in the morning. It's beginning to spit with rain, and it's freezing. That's kind of sums up Rangers at the minute. It's not pleasant. I mean, team news. Let's get into it. Ant-Man out for 8 weeks. Yeah. Don't want to see anyone get injured, but I'm not going to sit here and lie and say, oh fuck, that's a massive miss. Made a few fids on Fog Football yesterday, highlighting that I genuinely don't believe that I genuinely believe that we don't miss anybody. I don't care who it is. I don't look at that. I don't look at our team and be like, oh god, if he was it, then we would be in deep trouble. Now, obviously, right, you still have your so-called better players, but we're on our arse. You know what I mean? I seen somebody last night say, oh, I like Danny Roll, but I'd bring Gio back in a heartbeat. Would you, though? It's like, as good as Gio was in terms of getting us to a Europa League final, are people forgetting that Gio bottled the league? Right? And yeah, Gio wasn't backed, and maybe Gio Van Bronckhorst, if back, could do well, right? But let's look at let's look at the story. He came in with a gap that Gerrard created over Ange's Celtic, and Ange's Celtic were very good. That's undoubtable, right? Can't deny that. But that's when we had a great team. You know, a team that got to a Europa League final. It's not like it was pish. Then the following season, alright, we lost the likes of Rebo and Bassi, but it was still pretty much the main team, and with a few wee additions in there. And he got us in the Champions League, alright, fair play. But again, he got sacked really early in to that season, so I don't think Gio, I mean, anyone has a Scottish Cup. Here, is Gio better than the likes of Beale and Clement, Barry, Martin, and probably Danny Roll, even though still time on that? Yes, but that doesn't mean I'd want him back. You know what I mean? It was bad towards the end. With Gerrard, it's different. Gerrard wasn't sacked, he moved on. And I feel like that's different. I think it's rare a club actually goes back to a manager they sacked. So again, there's no rumours in this. This is just one guy talking about to take Gio back. I personally wouldn't. Anyway, moving on. Nico Raskin, who came in not long. So get the words out, man. Not long after Gio was sacked. Of course, Beale brought him and Todd Cantwell, and turns out Nico Raskin has actually got a deal to 2028. Now, obviously, the whole deal was, pun intended, earlier in the summer, oh, he's got 2 years left. Well, it turns out he's got a deal until 2028, which probably would explain more of his valuation, because 25 million, be lucky to get that now. And the only reason I think we can celebrate the fact he's got an extra deal is not due to the fact that, oh, we could keep this guy a bit longer, get more out of him, etc, because he's so integral. It's more to actually sell him on, because he'll get more money, because he's got another year on his deal. Don't rate Raskin anymore. I'm sorry, balloons burst. I say I'm sorry, I'm not sorry, I don't apologise for nada, because the guy's been pish this season, and a season we need players to step up, because when you bring in 12 players that are absolute pish, folks, what you need is your players that are supposedly good to at least stand up. And I mean, this guy's no stood up, he's quite frankly hid with the rest of them. And if we could get 15 million for Raskin in January, I think you would be ludicrous not to accept it, even though it would be 2.5 years left on his deal. 25 million's a pipe to him. Yeah, he's still he's got a lot more caps for Belgium now, but he's not. I don't think he's played wide. I think the 2-0 game against Hibs in the League Cup is probably his only good game this season. But the fact is, man, Raskin ain't more important than us being able to sell him and bring in like 3 or 4 additions to make an attempt to rescue this team. As I nearly went in my neck there. Fuck, I did not expect it to be that icy. But yeah, that's pretty much all the news in terms of injury wise and contract wise and all that stuff. Now we move on to Dundee United. Tannadice. Always been a tough place to go. lot of controversy over the years, a lot of great goals over the recent years. Diamonde's red card a couple of years ago that got overturned, which was hilarious. That's another guy I'm done with, by the way, Diamonde. No, you've pissed me off for the last time. Quite frankly, he can go to the Africa Cup of Nations and then he can get moved on while he's there, because he's not good enough. Right? We need to stop pretending that these players that have been absolutely bang average for us are going to somehow take us to the level you need. They're not. They're just better than the players that we bring in with every passing window, and it's a trend that we seriously need to get out of. So yeah, Raskin can get moved on, Diamonde can get moved on, John Souttar can get moved on, all these guys can get moved on. But as for Dundee United, I mean, their form has been, let's face it, absolute pish. They can't buy a win, and they lose more than they draw. That's pretty much their story. Last time out, they drew 1 each with Kelly. Watched the game on Premier Sports. Wasn't exactly the greatest game of football. It was probably a game that both teams couldn't afford to lose, and they picked up a draw. I mean, and you could probably argue the same about this. Now, obviously, I mean, on paper, Dundee United are going to be expected to lose, but to sum it up, folks, right, we were 1-2 to beat Falkirk at the weekend there, and we're 5-6 to beat Dundee United. See, a couple of years ago, doesn't even need to be under Gerrard, under Gio, under Beale, even throw in Gerrard as well. See if we were 1-2 at home against a newly promoted team for the Championship. I mean, you had the money, you'd be sticking $2,000 on that. You'd be sticking 200 on that. You'd be like, oh fuck, that's an easy 100 up, easy $2,000, easy grand up. But see now, man, you wouldn't trust this team with a barge pole. Honestly, man, like seriously. Even if we were fucking 2-0 up, you'd be like, oh, they're probably going to fuck up, aren't they? So, yeah, and also, we drew with Falkirk, obviously 0-0. Then you look at a couple of weeks ago, who beat Dundee United 3-0 at Tannadice? Falkirk. But the fucking reality is, I think Falkirk are better going forward than us. You know what I mean? You've got Brian Graham, you've got Arfield, you've got Allen, Spencer, you've got all these guys who've got something about them. Even that Agyeman guy. Yeah, he ballooned a couple of chances against us, but there's a bit of movement there, a bit of agility. So I mean, it's scary to think, man, when you can look at a load of teams in this league and be like, fuck, they've actually got better players than us. Or at least putting in more effort in, which should be the bare minimum, by the way. It should be a fucking honour to wear that shirt, not just part of your pay, not just a part of your job. You look at Dundee United, they've brought in the likes of Waters, or Waters even. Waters, what? They've got like Dolchek, decent players, but Dundee United, they've won off the boil. As for this game, I'm going 0-0. I have zero confidence. We just need to keep winning games of football, but inevitably when you're playing shite and you don't begin to even show the slightest upturn in performances, you're going to drop points. Happened against Falkirk. I look at the next two games, yeah, they're against two pish teams in Dundee United and Killie, but guess what, guys, we're also a pish team, and they'll be thinking, here, load the pressure on Rangers, we'll get the job done here. So as tragic as it is and as sad as it is, I am not expecting a whole lot here. That's why I'm going for a draw, and I wouldn't be surprised if we lost, but I wouldn't be surprised if we won. So yeah, 0-0 draw. Our strikers are pish, our attackers are pish, our midfield's non-existent. Connor Barron will run about, but our defence will probably let us down as well. Till next time, that's it for your wee preview. Peace.